What's going on YouTube? This is TechnicallyTee, and today I want to bring you a quick video letting you know how I set up my OnePlus 6. Now the reason I do this video because I get asked time and time, what is this icon pack? What's this wallpaper? What is the widgets that you use? No matter what phone I use, I'm always getting asked the same exact questions. So I decided, let me go ahead and do a what's on my OnePlus device, because a lot of my phones are set up the exact same. If you look at what's on my iPhone 10, how I set up my S9 Plus, you do know I kind of use the same setup. So if you watch one of those videos, then you know this video might not be for you because you already know how I run my phones. But I want to get into this because the OnePlus has a few little features and things, and I want to let you know of how I tweaked and how I perfected my OnePlus 6 and how I use it on the regular basis. So the first start off, you already see we have different wallpaper and we have a widget right here. So my wallpaper is actually from backdrops. I'm not really going to leave the link in the description, but the wallpaper is from backdrops. They have a lot of cool wallpapers. I used to use Zedge, but I came across backdrops and I started to begin to use that. So that's why I actually use backdrops. So I have that wallpaper, very simple, colorful wallpaper, not too fancy. Next, we're going to look at the widgets. Now, like I said, I always get asked, I swear, every video, what widget you use. And I am using, as you can see here, HD widgets. So you click on HD widgets. You can actually choose whatever background, you got your clock background, you got everything down here. You can actually change it up. Weather icons, you can change it up. You can make them all white. You can make it to move like a little realistic. So I tend to keep mine over here, and I just rock it with that. So I do have my HD widgets. And if you want to know which actual size widget this is the 4x3, as you see here in the top corner. Now they have all different sizes. You can do it where it's not, they don't show the 5-day outlook and different things like that, but I want it like this. So I always use the 4x3 HD widgets on the top. And as you see here, I have my icons broken down to the apps I use mostly on the main basis. I have my Play Store, Facebook, YouTube. Definitely have that YouTube Studio app if you're a content creator. Your gallery, and then as you see here, my folders, which are separated down here to social media, my music and entertainment, basically shopping, my financial bills, different things like that, banking, and my travel. So I might have to edit some of these actually. Travel and tourism, that's what it's called. Some of my financial things there, some of my apps that I shop with here. Music, entertainment, things like that. And then we also have some of my social media apps. So I don't use a bunch of apps. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I use the bare minimum. I tend to not load my phone down with apps that I'm not going to use. Next, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's get into the settings area. And basically, let's just go through the settings area. So my buttons, I had to definitely swap the buttons around because if you're an Android person, this will actually drive you completely crazy. So I had to swap mine around to keep it on the regular feeling of how I do my Android devices. Press power button twice for camera. That's just something you have to do to, to jump in the camera real quick. Double tap that, boom, you hop in your camera. Go back to your settings. Everything else here I think is pretty much stock. I don't have any other, shortcuts when it comes to certain buttons. Everything here is pretty much flat on. Next, let's go to gestures. Now, the only gestures that I have right now is the 3-finger screenshot, which that works very good. As you see here, swipe down with 3 fingers, boom, it pops a screenshot. That's just a little easier to me than actually pressing the power and the volume down button and all that. And also double tap the wake. Now, when I first got this phone, I really didn't dig into the settings, and I was tapping and tapping and tapping, and I'm like, there's no way to double lock the wake, double tap to wake. So I finally found it in the settings, and I'm like, thank God the option is there. So I gotta have that double tap the wake, and then popping it open with that facial scanner. I mean, it's usually instant. OnePlus does a great job with the facial recognition. Now, when it comes to drawing, VXMW, I don't really do all that. If I want to use my flashlight, I just pull down here, hit the flashlight button, but I don't really get involved with all those drawings. From what I found, I don't know if I was just doing it wrong, but it wasn't working that good for me. So I tend to just leave that alone for the most part. Going over to the status bar, as you see, I do have that new update, that 5.1.6. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. But I do have the battery percentage activated there. That's just something I like to keep up there for my viewing pleasures. Font, I'm already using the OnePlus font, as you can see down below. On my display, I do use adaptive brightness. I just have it boosted up for the video right here. Sleep, I usually have mine set to 30 seconds. Screen calibration, I leave mine on default just because I like the way it looks. I know a lot of people use DCI P3, but for me, that's just a little bit warm. And that reminds me of my iPhone 10 screen, which I feel like is a little too warm. So I tend to leave mine on the more cooler side, and I'll rock with the default Display. Next, the notch. Now I know, people hate the notch when it comes to it. Me, I don't mind it. I think it looks good. I've gotten used to it when it comes to my iPhone 10. So therefore, I have to show the notch area. But if you don't want to show the notch, you can pop it down there, hide the notch area. But I mean, who doesn't want more screen real estate? And it just looks better with the screen going up in the corner. So other than that, guys, ambient display, I have a lift up to display. Nothing like that. I turn on my new notifications to where I get a notification, my screen will actually light up and show notification, which is a pretty good, pretty good touch. My theme, I just left it at default theme. I know a lot of people like the dark theme, but I rocked out, just kept it with the default theme. We'll keep it like that. Font style, default. Display size, default. As you can see here, screensaver. I didn't change really any of the LED notifications or anything like that. So that's all good and well. This is probably my first device, actually my second device. On my S9 Plus, I did not install Nova Launcher. Now, I'm a lover of Nova Launcher and the features that it offers, but the OnePlus launcher is actually very good. So therefore, I just tend to use the OnePlus launcher. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. Did not download the Nova launcher because the OnePlus launcher just gets it done. I am using the stock, as you see right here, Google keyboard. Got to have that Google keyboard. I no longer use SwiftKey anymore like I always used to use. I think that's about it. There's nothing else I can really tell. Right now, I'm actually running my device completely naked. I don't have any cases right now. The cases have not came in yet, so I'm running my device super naked, so I'm being super careful. I do still have the factory installed screen protector up there. It's better than nothing. And I know I could plop the little flimsy clear plastic or clear TPU case on that came from OnePlus, but I'm not really doing that either. I'll wait for my cases to get here, and they hopefully should be here today or tomorrow. But that's basically how I have my OnePlus set up. No fancy icon packs, because personally, I think those don't look too good in my opinion. So I like to keep the factory icon pack. Change the widget up, change that wallpaper, and everything else, like I said, is pretty self-explanatory. One other thing I also did was I did go over here to the developer settings, and I did change all of my animations to 0.5. Now, it was already fast. Don't get me wrong, the animation was all plenty fast, but it just made it that much quicker. But that just goes to show you that was back in the day, that was the very first thing I used to do when I had an Android device. Now, these Android devices are so good, you don't even need to do it anymore. It actually is, it's plenty fast out the box. But changing it to 0.5 just made it that much quicker. So once again, this is basically a how I set up my OnePlus 6 video. If you want to see anything else about my device that I didn't cover, let me know in the comment section below. Also, if this is your first time stopping through the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we're going to have plenty of OnePlus 6 coverage coming your way. But as always, guys, give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.